Never follow orders, dick face. Get your shit straight, fucker. This is
Big J.
Big J.
Yeah.
And with that,
yeah, all right, cool. I'm still debating on if I want to leave all that in. It was fucking impressive.
I mean, you didn't stop me. I was gonna keep.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Well,
I'm gonna put mine down there.
we'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the podcast where we like to pull back the curtain, give you an inside BTS behind the scenes look at your favorite bar and or restaurant. We call that the industry perspective.
Oh shit, with the head. Okay, okay. What's up, motherfuckers? All right, you hit him with that.
That was a juicy shot.
Man, well, it's always juicy when you have to pull back the curtains.
I want to know more, but I don't want to know more. Like I'm torn here. Like,
fuck, man, I was trying not to go there. So
no,
early,
but we're already
damn.
there, and I get it. Like,
damn it.
Like there's you ever have that computer tab that you want to click on the tab to see more,
it's usually Pornhub.
Yep, it's a porn. But if you click on it, some ads are going to come up.
Yeah,
but maybe I want some of those
I can't
ads.
Open Reddit in public. I just can't.
You know that your algorithms are just all fucked there, huh?
I know what I follow. I don't have a privacy screen.
Dude, you got to get rid of the beaver porn.
What?
I don't know, just some random shit you're probably following on Reddit. I don't know what it is, but just leave the beavers alone. But not like the
Beaver brought me into this world. Beaver might take me out. All right, man, we gotta stop.
Oh man, okay, all right.
Gosh, so many women just turned off the episode right there. Like, it's these two motherfuckers.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, don't leave them alone.
They thought you were the good one. Yeah, he came out all colorful. There was like substitute teachers on his day off. He's like, fuck them kids. I'm not even their teacher. Not even their teacher, man.
I don't even know them kids. Fuck them.
Exactly. How was your weekend, man?
It was cool, man. So I actually had family in town. I had a cousin graduating from college down in Orange County in SoCal. So so mom was in town. I haven't seen her since Christmas. That was cool. I just did a lot of driving this weekend.
Driving.
Yeah, no, it was a lot. Because also my mom, she has like PTSD like when she's on highway. So like we were driving and then she just got anxiety. So I had to get off the highway and drive the streets for the rest of the way, which like added an hour to like our actual travel. But yeah, I'm happy to see her. Then took them around like all the touristy stuff in LA today, which yay for them. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah,
once you've seen it a handful of times, you're kind of like, but you can't deny your friends and family to see it when they come out. I gotta here. It's like,
give you guys the walk of fame and all that for sure.
Yeah, we live it, but it's like, I still want you to enjoy that.
100%. But no, it's good to see family, good to kick it with family. That was the majority of the weekend. I worked on Friday. That was a long shift, but
I saw you at the end of that one.
Yeah,
you looked like you had been through it.
Yeah,
man.
No, that was a day. It was did the Lakers play? I don't think the Lakers played. No, not on Friday.
No, I think they played Saturday.
No, but it was still like a long shift just for no good reason. But just good kicking it with family for the most part. They fly out tomorrow morning at 6 in the morning.
Oh man, safe travels, man.
Yeah,
travels.
Yeah,
I didn't do any of that. I just worked. I mean, I only work weekends right now, so
I'll bet.
That's been a big adjustment. Last week I mostly only work weekdays, and then the last few months I was working most of the days. And then it went back down to just the weekends.
Oh shit!
Which is good for me because it's going to give me opportunity to do things for the show. You know what's coming, but like I can't talk about it yet because I haven't been able to get all the paperwork signed. Yeah, or I'll help you if you need help. I will help hold on to an ass.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, but I mean, ask for consent.
I'm a professional ass lifter. Consent, I will lift you up.
Consent. But yes.
Oh yeah, obviously. I have literally never in my life grabbed a woman like to get their attention or like
the wildest fucking
just
thing.
like touching someone without their consent. Literally, I'm the one who's like, hey, or like a light touch on the tricep. I touch you like a physical trainer. I'm like, hey, buddy, and can I get around over there? I need to go get that. And they're like, yeah, just go. I'm like, I just wanted you to know I was here, yo.
Everything's above the line here.
Yeah.
Everything's cool.
Hands up high.
Oop,
not really aroused. And if I am, it's not
here.
because of you. You see 204 over there? God damn.
You just call a woman by her weight?
No, the table.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm not gonna say what I was about to say.
Yep, that was a setup.
Yeah, I ain't biting on that.
By the rim.
I ain't biting on that. No. You ain't getting me canceled right when I'm getting started? Nah, I'm good on that, Playboy. I am good on that.
Oh, I got
there's
this
way.
close.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing. I was setting you up for that.
No.
Oh, man.
204 would not be in the game. Sorry, just being honest, man.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we were slow all weekend, though, man. I know between EDC, which is why P isn't here. And
true.
I saw a couple other friends at some, like outside events during the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, well, we're not gonna make any money. Everyone's outside.
Yeah.
Plus, the weather all of a sudden is going back to fucking Seattle weather out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
people don't leave for that.
Our weather's been bipolar lately. I can't take it.
It's really bad. Yeah, because it was even bad for me this week because like in the OC it would be like 20 degrees chiller than when I went to Corona for a second and it was 90 there. I go to LA and then it's like 77. This is all in the same freaking day.
Right.
I was like, oh shit, like I can't keep up with this. Am I wearing a jacket
or
am I
like
in
Westeros?
Like what am I doing? Am I in a tank top? Am I in a hoodie? Like what are we doing today? But
it's really hard on our industry because you can't tell if people are gonna go out, stay home. Are they gonna go to a place that has like a patio? If your place has a patio and you're in LA, and usually you're expecting a lot of business because everyone outside. But if it's a little chill, if it's under 70 degrees, ain't nobody sitting on your patio.
Yeah, they
too soft out here for that.
Get me inside to a heater.
Exactly. And if your food ain't that good, they're not gonna be hanging out there either.
Either way, yeah.
It's really hard. This is that slow season.
Yeah.
A real slow season.
It was almost like a second slow season because it's always after Christmas. Yeah, New Year's.
Right after New Year's.
That's always a slow season too. And I think it picks up usually, I always used to call it around March Madness, but I guess that depends on like your restaurant. If you have like a sports related restaurant. But
you can just say spring. Because that does seem to be when people start to come out again. Definitely see a lot of people disappear January and February.
Yeah,
those are some lean months, boy.
You gotta save up. Well, it's hard to save up because you just had Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to save up with our line of work because you have to work during fucking the holiday season, get all the hours you can,
right?
Because you know what's coming.
No, it's not.
You got to make as much money as you can because it's like a bear storing fat for the winter. It's like, this has got to get me through it. You know what I mean? But you work so hard, you end up going out. Yeah. You don't get those holiday parties that you're working for everyone else.
Right.
So tend to go out more, drink a little more, party a little more, whatever.
I'm like mid-January, February. You're just like, wait a minute. Y'all want rent again?
Yeah. You looking like Tyrone Biggles is like, anybody got any customers?
Anybody want an old fashioned?
Yeah, come on now. Shit, let me stir you a drink. Something, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so this is something I didn't think I would end up doing.
What's that?
But through circumstance, I ended up being forced into this situation. I wasn't happy about it.
What was this? What are you talking
about? Go into your job.
I thought you were talking about rape or something. What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ, man!
You say something about forced upon you.
That was such an aggressive goal.
Oh no! Jesus! Like you can't like lead something up. Like I thought like you had to go into trigger mode. Like
go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry.
I mean, Joey's was forced upon me. I did tell Joey no.
Joey forced himself upon. Okay, you know what? We're gonna get canceled. So
no, man. Anyway, I had to go to your fucking job, and I fucking hated it, man.
Why?
I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
I mean, there are reasons too.
It was everything I knew it was gonna be.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, give me the rundown. I'm so interested to hear your perspective on my spot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get in there, and everyone who works there is fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. I love everyone who works there, even the people I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever hires your people does an excellent job. Yeah. That's probably the only job they do around there. But, like when I'm sitting here watching just SOPs, man, I'm just watching the way that people, like the way they're moving, the things they're doing, how long this thing might take or that thing might take.
Yeah.
Food came out good over here, then this wasn't done right here, but it was the same dish. So, and this was late at night. Not like late, but like that last leg. Yeah. So it's one of those things, like, I'm not saying this against the people who are working. No. I'm saying that's why I don't like places like that, because it caters to just a certain type of mindset. Yeah. At that time of night. And and I don't like it, man.
It's weird for us because, like, almost the flow of any given night is that it slows down after happy hour, like around like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. For some reason, I guess, well, it's not for some reason. We are downtown. Mm-hmm. So for whatever reason, people in downtown, depending on their line of work, they tend to think that like at 10:30, 11 o'clock is the time to come and get a 22-ounce bone-in ribeye. And you're just kind of like, what is your life that like at midnight you decide like, now I need a ribeye? Like,
I think it's one of those things of that culture of, like, say a Scottsdale, a Miami, a New York, or something like that, where everything happens later. Like Scottsdale happens later because it's too fucking hot to do it before 10 p.m.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like, New York pretty much never closes. Vegas never closes. Miami closes for like an hour and a half. That's just so the cleaning crew can get all of the used condoms out of there. Like, Miami is just wild, man.
Yeah.
But people think that LA is the same way, and it's like, no, especially not downtown LA.
No.
Downtown LA is more, I don't think people realize it's more business oriented.
It's very business. The people that are not sleeping on the streets, it's very business.
They bought their business.
Different business.
Yeah, different business.
Different business.
It's a 24/7 job. It just is.
We're going to go 5 minutes without getting canceled.
I don't know, man. This is starting to sound like a bad idea. Like, Jesus. Like, this might be the end of the show, but goddamn, we're going down in a blaze of glory.
Blaze of glory.
Blaze of glory.
Oh. Business people downtown. Okay.
I was not saying that until
man.
If y'all can read my lips, you heard what I said.
Oh, Lord.
That's how it feels right now.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, I can't say that on a hot mic. I will say it after.
Okay, fair enough.
If I remember.
Enough. There we go.
Oh, man.
So business people are downtown, and so it's pretty much like the bars are set up for people to do happy hour, hang out, have a dinner, late dinner, luncheon or whatever, and then kind of go home. But the crowd tends to push it later. It's like, oh, you guys are open to midnight. Your kitchen closes at 11:30. Clearly, I can come in and get a steak dinner at this time, and I think it throws things out of whack a little bit. Like, clearly we are set up and we're prepared to do that, but
it's because no one's thinking about the prep work that goes into this and goes into that. I know that's something that we plan on talking about later on in this episode, but when it comes to a kitchen, a lot of times people think, well, if your kitchen doesn't close until this time, you should be ready to make this until that time. But just like you want to go home early, so do I.
Yeah.
It's just my job is set up to where some random motherfucker can come in and completely change the time that I get to go home because they just decided, I guess I'll just mosey on in there now and ask for a 7-course meal 15 minutes before the kitchen closes, which we are obligated to do, which really fucking sucks. And no one's spitting in your fucking food. That's like, that's one of the oldest like jokes.
That's a weird joke.
There's so many cameras now. Like, if you did see what they were doing to your food, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Jokes, just jokes,
just jokes.
But watch the movie. Watch the movie waiting.
Yeah, but there are too many cameras now. You can't get away with that anymore.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Because back in the day.
Oh my gosh. I wish I
was joking.
It feels like the civil rights era of like service industry. Like, we can't talk about the things that happened back then.
Oh,
like
Lord.
motherfuckers was wilding. Like
Yeah.
that's the way people talk about the service industry now when they talk about a movie like Waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20 years ago when it came out,
right.
Waiting tables did feel like that.
Yeah.
But now the industry has changed so much. Like, no, nothing like that
There's
can
nothing
happen.
like that really happening.
Unless you live in like a small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you probably know them anyway. Like, everybody knows them, right?
They might be spitting in your food in a small town. I'm so hospitable when I'm in a small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very chill.
I honestly usually try not to eat small town if there's no color.
Yes. I'm not going to lie. I've been through the South many a times.
Yeah.
Little detour here, but
I don't just mean the South.
Oh, okay. Well, yes.
I've been to 2/3 of this country.
Well, I was going to say Waffle Houses. I've never had a good experience in a Waffle House.
I mean, but it's Waffle House.
I know. I still keep going.
No, you're just supposed to go there to bet on the fights. That's why you go to a Waffle House.
That's not what I didn't know that going in, but I was just like, literally every time I've gone to a Waffle House, I've just had some bad, very clear racist experience. I've been like, wow, it's still very much. I mean, I didn't think it was dead, but it's just very just like, oh yeah, no, you'll get your food when them over there get their food. I'm like, but okay, all right, for sure.
It's like that for me in a Cracker Barrel.
It's called Cracker Barrel.
Oh, I
should have known going in.
I knew. That's why I still walk my black ass in there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you gonna serve me. I want them wild man blueberry pancakes now. Get them ready.
Get them ready. Give them flapjacks.
I know they got to get theirs first, but as long as I get mine.
Oh my God.
I treat that shit like a sexual encounter. All right, get yours first, but I'm getting mine. I want my pancakes.
Oh man.
God damn it. Woo. I guess this is what happens when you write the outline like 5 minutes before you go live.
No, we're flying. Right. We're flying.
Oh my gosh, this is pretty bad.
You visited my job, you said.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about, but I really think we need to save this particular thing for the live episode Thursday at the Alamo Draft House at 7 p.m.
Be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And be square.
I don't know. You can be whatever shape you want to be.
Whatever.
In today's world.
It's 2023.
Be whatever you want to be. I don't care. Yeah. But this will be hopefully the first of our residency there where we'll start doing like a monthly show. They've literally been asking us to do it from the first one. But we weren't sure it was something that would work. But obviously now we're getting to that point. The show's getting bigger.
Yeah.
It works on its own. So that's what we're planning to do with that, which means we're going to have to start posting those episodes as well. In the past, I know we haven't talked about this too much, but we liked to have those first 2 live episodes and probably this week's. I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
Cool.
We liked having those just be a personal experience for the people who are here in downtown LA because they're our biggest supporters.
Yeah.
But we do really recognize that there are people in other cities and other states and actually other countries. Be surprised to see who's listening to us. Actually, it's kind of funny.
Wow.
Kind of surreal. But we just wanted to have a more intimate experience with them with the grassroots parts of this.
Yeah.
But now that it's becoming what we envisioned it to be, we got to start sharing all of it.
Yeah.
So we're still figuring out how we're going to do that as far as how do we record it? You know, where do we set up the camera? Right. You know, because you've seen how we've done it the other 2 times.
Yeah.
Just don't like that layout.
Still figuring it out.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out and we'll get back to you. Maybe this week's episode will be up there, if only because it means that I don't have to record another one early next week. I was like, man, we got to do 3 episodes in like 10 days. And I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And it's a lot of editing.
Yeah.
It was going to be a little daunting. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, but I did go in there and I did check it out, man. Like I said, everyone there is great.
Yeah.
Seriously. Everyone there is great. Customers.
Yeah.
Man.
Did you sit in a table or
I
the
sat
bar?
at the bar.
Yeah, dude. It's rough, bro.
Man.
It is rough.
It is so fucking rough.
Yeah.
Again, this story has to wait, but
okay.
Me sitting next to someone arguing about their bill When I watch them drink the drinks that they are now saying that they didn't drink, you drunk them. You fucking drunk them. The empty glass is right there. So pay your tab, man.
And like, just move on.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like about the place. Yeah. And as far, like I said, with the food being inconsistent, well, the guests are inconsistent. So it's kind of hard for the cook to do this way when they got 25 modifications on this dish, which isn't supposed to be modified. But they have this one that isn't being modified because that guest is like, yo, just give it to me the way it is. I came here for this. Right. And I didn't came here for you to make it the way I exactly like it. I could do that at home.
Right.
Just give this to me now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is sitting next to the one who needs 17 to 25 modifications, and this one might get overcooked or undercooked or whatever. You got so many variables. Right. For people who don't even fucking care.
They don't care.
And I'm not saying none of them care.
Yeah.
Because I always want to be aware of not every guest does this.
Sure.
But if it wasn't for guests doing this, the show wouldn't exist. Yeah. We're not just making this shit up, man. Like, the things that are done and said to us on a shift basis, like, it is insane. Yeah. But to hear the way that the people were talking to some of your coworkers,
and like we're supposed to just deal with it and just put up with it and just be like, okay, well, I guess, we'll fix that for you. Yeah. And then we had this issue this past week where I didn't even tell you about this. This came up last week where I wasn't there for any of the interactions with this particular group, but they came in there, they sat at the bar, and they literally like cussed out like some of my coworkers to the point where they were just like, and then we have to bring in a manager, and the managers, and then my coworker like tried to explain like, hey, we should 86 them, which I mean, people know 86 means like, let's refuse them service.
You can't come back.
Yeah, you can't come back. And then so that had happened weeks before. We fade in, fade out this past week. They come in again, and now they're sitting at a table that's in eye line of the bar. So the guy that had gotten cussed out was like, hey, we 86 them. Why do they have a table? Why are they allowed to sit there? And then it became this whole thing where people didn't just like 86 them, but they just basically said to them, well, it was like this whole thing, well, we didn't go through the proper channels of 86ing them the first time. So now we kind of have to have a discussion, and then we're going to give them an opportunity to come back tomorrow and speak to the GM to try to plead their case for why they could be possibly un-86. And if they get un-86, maybe we'll just keep them from coming to the bar, but they can still go to a table. And it was just, the whole thing was just like, in their whole thing, their whole reason why they were actually allowed to come back in and plead their case was like, well, they made me feel weird because they said I didn't tip enough. You probably didn't. And you probably were shitty in terms of receiving the service anyway. And they were, like I said, they were cussing out like my coworkers and calling them all kinds of names. And then their whole rationale for why they had gone off was like, well, you made me feel weird about my tip.
So that's always been a very like touchy subject for me, mostly because I know it's like this unwritten rule that we're not supposed to mention to guests. Sure. Hey, you didn't tip me enough.
Yeah.
I, for one, I'm not begging you for shit. I'm sorry. As I've said before, if our interaction ended with you feeling like I didn't deserve this, that's your choice. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think that what gets lost for a lot of people is that a lot of people don't recognize their behavior when they go out. They're used to doing things their way, especially when they're at home a lot.
Right.
But they go out in public and they may do things that are just uncouth or just lacking in tact and just very rude and inconsiderate and things like that. But they don't know that those things are those things. They think they're just chilling because no one's ever told them anything.
Right, because I'm just talking to my family.
Yeah, and they're just making the job harder and harder and harder for the person who is working to serve them, to give them a good experience, right? That's what that person's trying to do.
Yeah.
If you've made their job so difficult and ran them into the ground to the point where they now feel like, well, if you're at least going to do all that, at least give me a bare minimum tip.
Sure.
What I think that people don't understand is that if a server walks up to you and says like, damn, you really stiffed me, it's because you stiffed them so far beneath what other people do but you did so much more.
You expected so much more than the average.
Not just expected, you did so much more. Because you're not, if someone expected more, but they were still respectful of you, then you just say like, maybe it's not their custom or this and that. There are all these different reasons, and you can just brush that off. But when someone makes you feel so uncomfortable and so run down and so belittled and demeaned, and then they give you like $1 or 30 cents or something like that, it feels like an additional slap in the face to the point you're like, man, fuck this job and fuck you too. Like it puts you at that point, and no one wants to feel like that. But in this job, no one ever gets to talk about it because we're not allowed to talk to the guests, which is why this is here now, because this isn't for tips.
No.
So
and that's the thing. Like, I don't even think I talked with my coworkers afterwards, and they said they didn't even really mention it. It just was in the form of talking about the whole thing and the whole experience and going back and forth with them. And like came up and it's like, and on top of that, you didn't even really.
Oh man, see, that's even worse.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it wasn't the catalyst for what started. They were cussing them out before they even got to that. And
see, that's even worse, man. Because I was at least shooting them some bill, being like, all right. Maybe this person was just so exasperated.
Well, that's what the guests were saying to try to get their way back into the restaurant, which is also, hey, if you think you want to 86 me from this restaurant, that's already embarrassing. I'm good to just find another restaurant.
I don't know why you would want to go to a place that doesn't want you.
It's cool, bro. Like, you know what? We're good. We're good. I'm going to find another restaurant and it's cool. But like, why am I going to sit here? Like they were sitting and going back and forth with the manager for like 30, 40 minutes just trying to have this conversation. I'm just like, yo, what? I'm hungry and you're not feeding me right now. So let me go somewhere else and whatever. But
honestly, at that point, it just sounds like those are people who are in toxic relationships, because it's like, let me go out with this person I don't like to a place that doesn't even want me there. And then I complain about everything. And then we bond over that together and go home and have hate sex. Fuck that waiter. I love you, babe. And then the next day you still wake up to that motherfucker. You're like, man, I still can't stand your ass. Well, fuck that waiter though, right? Yeah. And that lasts for like a week. And then they come back in like, you can't 86 us. This is the only place holding this relationship together.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, the
fucking fettuccine Alfredo is all we can bond over.
So those are the guests that you saw when you were there.
Yeah, it made it hard, not just for me, but my friends who were with me who are not service industry. They overheard the conversation as well and was just like, dude, that's just embarrassing. Like, because those people had sat next to them first and then moved and sat next to me. So they heard both sides of the conversation. Like, they heard this side, and then I told them about the side they didn't hear over here, and we pieced the story together. And we were just like, man, y'all are trash. But then I'm also looking at the other people sitting around, and a lot of them I could see were doing a lot of the same things, and I was hearing a lot of the same conversations being had, and I was just like, why are you coming out here if you don't even like this restaurant?
It doesn't seem like you enjoy your experience. You complain about it the whole time, and you're here for like the free sample of champagne we give you. Oh my God, that's other things. Like
you're just here to argue.
Yeah, you're just here to argue and get as much free stuff as you can. It's like, all right, cool.
Man, free ain't worth all that.
No, I'm sorry,
free ain't worth all that. Free ain't worth my mental health, man.
No, because there's better experiences if you're not having a good experience.
Right.
I feel like we're trying to give you a good experience
but like, it's literally our job.
Like we go through an absurd amount of training.
There are so many SOPs in every place. Obviously, it's my job to give you a good experience. You think I want to tell you to fuck off? No, you drove me to that, man. I will say though, I do feel lucky about where I work at now, because it's easy to 86 a motherfucker at my job.
Nice.
And it's the first time I've had it happen to the point where I've gotten into arguments with guests because I thought we couldn't 86 them. And my manager's like, nah, just tell us, we'll just kick this motherfucker out. I was like, oh, that's right. We do just kick motherfuckers out. Like, I had someone come in who had cursed out not just me, but my coworker's fiance, and our bar back, and another guest that was standing next to them, threatened to fight all of us, and then come back in a week later and was acting like he didn't do all the shit that he did.
y'all.
But I was the only one who was there from that last experience, and he saw me when he walked by because it was crowded, and I saw him like weaving his way through the crowd, and I saw his eyes on me like, oh, if he don't see me, I can get a drink. And then as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, there's that motherfucker. And I just put down both my tins, and I went and I pointed. I was like, you? No. Walked around the bar. I was like, you got to go. He's like, what do I do? You know what you did. And security just walked in and was like, what's the problem? I was like, him? He got to go. He's like, all right, you can tell me the story later. Kicked that motherfucker out, came back in. All right, tell me the story. And I was like, this is the motherfucker we were talking about the other day. He was literally trying to fight a woman, bro. Like, seriously. I'm not even joking. Bro, he was trying to fight a woman first and then tried to fight me and her fiance and everything. And was wearing like the weakest poncho I've ever seen.
Okay.
It was like he was wearing a rainbow poncho and he was like very like skinny and he was black,
bro.
And what killed me was that's cultural appropriation, man. That's not your poncho. And I know you ain't gay, so why are you wearing a rainbow poncho? Like, you're stealing from too many groups right now, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But fuck that guy, and I'm glad he got 86. Fuck that fucking dude.
Yeah, no, but yeah, for us it's like so many levels that we have to show and prove to get someone 86 after they've clearly done something that's ridiculous. And then even with that, because you guys are a little bit smaller like team, so word can spread around really quickly. Like, that's the person that's 86. With us, if homie from that shift wasn't on that shift where like they were sitting at the table, nobody would have been able to point them out and say, hey, those are the guys be 86. And this word doesn't, like, communication doesn't spread like it should.
Especially with a large place like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which I do understand why they have to have all those steps. Sure. I do. But it's just, I'm tired of this culture, especially the last few years, of people manipulating the system, but doing it on purpose. Like, just go find another place or just be better people, and we would love to have you here. Like,
there are so many other places.
We're literally not in the business of telling people not to come in. We love to tell you that if you're a dick. Yeah. But we'd rather have good people come in and enjoy themselves, even if they don't even talk to us. Even if you don't like me, which a lot of people don't. I still want you to enjoy your time there. Like, I don't care if you don't like me. Yeah, it's irrelevant. You like this place and you like someone here. Right. Obviously, you are being served by someone. You enjoy them and they enjoy you, or at least tolerate you, or vice versa, whatever.
Right.
But you keep coming here and you don't like me. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just because you don't like me doesn't mean I wish harm on you.
No.
You know what I mean? Still keep coming back, but give good energy and give good tips. Don't be a dick. That's all anybody ever asked for.
And that's
that, and make sure when you come in, I'm sorry, please don't get mad at me. Although if you do, it's okay. It wouldn't be the first time. But I need the lady to start wearing lipstick that doesn't get stuck on the glasses. Because this shit is getting, it's a fucking epidemic, man.
These stray shots are coming left and right, and I can't keep up with them. All right, yeah, so.
Sounds like a bukkake.
It wasn't even.
Sorry, man. Just close your eyes and let it happen. Close your eyes and hope for the best. Just hope for the best.
No. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, man.
So you're talking about? Actually,
I'm just saying, let me
plus one on this because I'm tired of seeing that on wine glasses.
It's so hard to get off.
Specifically on wine glasses.
It's like glitter.
Yeah.
You can't get that shit off.
It just keeps on showing up no matter how much you think you scrub it off. Yeah. And like you said, specifically the cheap fucking lipstick. And I'm just like, yo, come in prepared with like actual good lipstick or whatever, your lip balm, lip gloss, whatever. Anything that's not going to stick on this glass. You know what? We're on glassware.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys, I feel like you guys might have talked about it before.
We might have.
But fellas.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
It's okay to be a little insecure. I get that.
The I word? It is spelled with an I for those of you who may not know.
It's a great TV show. See it on HBO Max or
shout out to Issa Rae on
now. That. Yeah, shout out to Issa Rae. But ordering a Manhattan or a Henny sidecar, you're not more of a man because you put it in a rocks glass. it's actually making you more of a bitch because now you're diluting what was meant to be a strong drink.
Wow.
And it's very frustrating. And it literally, you taking the time out of your experience to call a server or a bartender over to send the drink back, to put it in a rocks glass and add ice. It really makes you look more like a bitch. Because
what I will say to that though is, if you know you don't want it in a coupe, or if you know you don't want your drink in a glass that challenges your masculinity, say that when you order the drink, because if you know the name of the drink, you know what it comes in. That's where the real complaint is coming from. Not that you're asking for a regular glass, is that you wait until the drink has been put in front of you, and then you're like, oh, no, don't be putting that shit in front of me, which is what motherfuckers act like. Like, you disrespected them. You ordered this drink. This is how I'm supposed to make it. I didn't just put it in there to insult you.
No.
Like, there aren't bitch drinks. I mean, there are bitch drinks, but that's not me saying that you a bitch. If you like a sweet drink, which there are a lot of men who like sweet drinks, they don't like the taste of alcohol. I don't give a fuck. Like what you like. But just tell me ahead of time. Please. That is the only complaint I have about it. Because you make it sound like I did this to you and I didn't.
But the glass is not, it's not making you less of a man. It's just, I feel like most drinks that come in those glasses, i.e. Manhattans, martinis, I don't know about a sidecar, but they're stronger drinks. They're booze forward drinks. It's like a sweet Henny margarita kind of. It's kind of a Henny margarita. But that's kind of what it is. Think about it.
It is, but I don't know.
It's a Henny Cadillac margarita.
I don't know who started the Henny margarita, but like, why?
Like,
why would you mix a cognac with lime?
I don't know.
It's not the right citrus for that.
It's not.
Don't you just be making up shit.
But, I feel like this is your Henny drinker, and you're just like, you know what? Let me throw Henny in everything. Have you ever? Let me tell you about people
just trying to get a little razzle dazzle in there for no reason, huh? It's all just making a margarita. Like, why?
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just like adding that in there.
Wait, time out. So I gotta tell you a story about Razzle Dazzle. So sorry, I can't believe we're here right now. Razzle Dazzle. So I'm an actor. Hello, my name is Robert. I'm an actor. I just want to begin the SAG Awards.
It sounds like you're either doing an infomercial or you're at Actors Anonymous.
Hi, everyone.
Which should Rob. Be a thing here in LA. It's like, hello, I'm Rob, and I'm an actor. It's been 2 days since I read for a part.
Read an audition. It's getting a little lonely out here.
I'm not getting no callbacks.
So when you join the union, which is SAG-AFTRA, you have to submit.
After what?
SAG-AFTRA. These are one SAG is always Screen Actors Guild, which is
one SAG that's always sagging behind.
Oh my god. It's the union for actors. Let's just put it like that. They were the theater union, and then the Screen Actors was TV and film, and they came together.
And they came together like a pair of nuts.
In a scrotum sack.
Sagging.
Just SAG-AFTRA in a scrotum.
You kept doing this, and I was
just. And so when you join the union, we're off the rails. Razzle Dazzle. So when you join the union, you have to submit 3 names. So I submitted. I'm not giving my
wait. Like actor names?
Yeah. So basically, the idea is if you submit a name,
your superhero names, you're like this is me.
Well, no. So it's like you could say, "Look, my name is Robert."
Do you also tell them what costume you want?
It's like if someone already has your name. If I happen to be Tom Cruise, clearly I can't be Tom Cruise.
Why not? You are Tom Cruise.
But there's another Tom Cruise. If there's already a Tom Cruise in SAG, I have to go under something else. I just can't have 2 names that are the same.
Tom Cruise Air?
You got to do Tom A.
Like
Cruise,
your French?
Tom B. Cruise, or whatever.
Tom B. Cruising.
Can I fucking finish this fucking story? And so I submit my name, variations of my name, Robert, middle name, last name, Robert, middle initial, last name. and I just ran out of things to actually say. And I just was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have some fun. My third submission that could have been my official name in SAG was Razzle Dazzle Jenkins. And that's what I submitted. And I was like, you know what? Someone's going to have a fucking field day with that. And if the other 3 names are taken, my manager's going to fucking nail me to a cross if that's the actual name that we had to go forward with. So Razzle Dazzle is always kind of funny phrase to me because of that.
Were you trying to read for Breaking 3?
Breaking 3?
Yeah, the sequel to Breaking to Electric Boogaloo. You were Razzle Dazzle. What you said, Jenkins?
Jenkins. Razzle Dazzle Jenkins. Yeah, just throw a little Razzle Dazzle. So Razzle Dazzle is always an interesting phrase to throw out there.
Yeah, but why would you go with Razzle Dazzle Jenkins? Be RDJ. We already have a RDJ.
But that's
Were
different.
you wanting to be War Machine? Were you upset when when they brought in Don Cheadle?
This is like,
you're like, I could have taken over for Terrence Howard.
This was a long time ago, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're saying you were the original RDJ? No, you are not, sir. He was on Ally McBeal.
He was in jail.
Oh, so you tried to assume his identity like a serial killer?
In jail. Yeah.
Oh man, we have now become a serial killer podcast.
No, this dude was on black tar heroin. I didn't think he had that much time left at the time.
Okay, so why are so many things that are bad? You got to throw the word black in front of it, like black ice, black tar heroin. I mean, it is black, but you don't have to call it black. Just call it tar heroin.
Tar heroin. That
like black noir in fucking.
What are you guys doing this afternoon? Tar heroin. Oh, all right. Well, let me get. I don't know. Black tar heroin. I don't know, man. Now it sounds a little fishy. Let me go do some meth instead.
I'm not touching that because none of the things that I had to say were gonna be positive. Just gonna say that right now.
Fair.
If I remember afterwards, I'll tell you when the camera's off.
Fair.
Man.
So,
we were about to get canceled.
Order the drink in the glass that you want it to be in.
Everyone order whatever it is you want.
Yes, or accept it in the way that it's meant to come. But fair enough if you want it in your rocks glass.
It's fair. Just think ahead.
Or what about the guys like the big motherfuckers that have they do the little straws with because it's a Collins glass. So the Collins glass it's a Tom Collins coming in. It's a little bit longer. Yeah. And then you put like a little straw in it. And then you got these big motherfuckers that
and they're just like hulking, leaning over the bar, trying to drink from a little straw. But here's the thing though.
What's that?
What's worse is when you see these big ass motherfuckers and they get a sidecar. That was my phone.
Okay. I was gonna roll forward. I was like, nope, didn't happen.
Well, it's not gonna come through on this.
Oh, bet.
So I probably should have just let it go. But you know, whatever. It happens. Anyway, but what I don't like is, or actually I do like because it is really fucking funny when you do get the guys who order a sidecar or a lemon drop with tequila because they want that razzle dazzle all of a sudden. But then they don't want their lips to touch the glass. And so they grab a straw.
No.
But here's the problem I have. I will see big motherfuckers with a Collins glass and a baby straw that's the same size as glass, bubbling with it, trying to drink from it. And then they will get this drink that is in a coupe, a wide open glass that they can just pick up and sip from. And they take the big straw and set it on that. And then, but they won't touch the straw. So they're like bending down and sucking from the straw, dude.
Like, this is why?
The visual of watching a grown man lean down and suck from a straw on a drink.
This is like,
I don't understand. Like, why is it that you are so upset of what glassware your drink comes in, but you still drink from a straw?
I saw, was it Crazy
You
Sexy
can't
Cool?
drink from a straw and look another man in the eye.
No, what's the name of that movie? Crazy Sexy Cool? That was with Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love. Do you
One
remember?
of the few I know.
Yes.
That one's actually pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of them rom-coms because
That was the first.
they be teaching you some weird shit.
Yeah, but that
Stuff
was
I
the
don't
one
agree with.
where he was telling him like, yo,
Like
never drink from a
feelings.
straw.
Huh?
Never drink from a Wait, did we just get deep? He was just this just turned into a therapy stuff. No, let's back it up.
Yeah,
I never watch rom-coms because feelings.
No, fuck that. We shouldn't be teaching people feelings.
Teaching people feelings.
What are we teaching our kids? To feel?
Feel?
No.
God forbid.
That's gonna get them hurt.
Oh God. What?
No, man. I
Jesus
grew up in that age where like all these rom-coms came out and they were just the same.
Oh yeah, they were the same. They were always
So the
Matthew
reason why I
McConaughey
don't-
with Kate Hudson.
Yeah.
They were side by side.
I think that was like 10 days or something like that. But I don't like them because they're all the same movie.
Mhm.
Not because I don't like the message. I can tell you everything is going to happen just from looking at the trailer.
Of course.
You know, and I don't like seeing the same movie over and over and over unless it's that movie.
Yeah.
Like I liked
Crazy Stupid
I
Love.
like Crazy Stupid Love,
Yeah.
so I can watch that a bunch of times.
500 Days of Summer.
I've seen that once. I liked it.
That one's
I liked
different.
it.
That was a different rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was dark.
Yeah.
That was right up my alley
Yeah.
right there.
I was like,
Oh man.
with the reality and
Bro,
the
give me some dark.
expectation.
Yeah, you give me some dark humor.
Ooh, yeah.
You got me locked in, man.
That was fire.
You got me locked in.
But Crazy Stupid Love was where Ryan Gosling was teaching him not to drink from a straw because it doesn't make you look manly. And here we see these, we're talking like big football player dudes,
Right.
literally with
Literal football players. Like you recognize them. I've seen you knock a motherfucker out. And then you just, yo, you got a straw? You shouldn't
For
need
what?
one, my boy.
For what?
You shouldn't
sir?
need one.
You don't need a straw.
And all I'm saying
you
is
ordered
just
a
pick a
lemon
lane.
drop. You order a lemon drop. You don't need a straw.
Or you get the guys who are like, yo, let me get a lemon drop. Yo, but don't put sugar on the rim, man. Don't put no sugar on my rim, bro.
But they asked for it to be a strawberry lemon drop. Now, what are we doing? Pick a lane. Pick a lane.
Ooh. What we're saying is, men, get your shit together. Yeah, I came for the ladies early.
Yeah.
We got to come for the
We gotta
men
come for the
too.
men as
We're
well.
equal opportunity.
Jesus
Everybody can
Christ.
get it.
Yeah.
Everybody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Know what the fuck you want to drink and stop assuming that someone cares what you're drinking. If that's what you want, that's what you want. I have a friend. I haven't seen him in a long time, but when we used to work together, whenever we'd go out for a drink, we would always have this thing where we would just pick random drinks on the menu.
Oh shit.
Because it was just an exercise.
Fuck with
because
that,
the same thing kept happening. We will order a drink based off of what the ingredients were.
Okay.
And her drink always came out in like a rocks or a Collins and an like a manly regular glass.
That happens.
And all of mine had to get tucked between my fingers. I'm sitting there like drinking my shit like this
Super
every
food.
time.
Yeah.
Every time. And we just thought it was funny because it was never on purpose.
Yeah.
We never knew what kind of glass it came in.
Just going off ingredients.
I would order that. And at the time, I was drinking sweet drinks.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? If you order a sweet drink, it's going to look sweet.
It's going to look food.
Oh boy, it's going to look sweet.
You
order a sweet drink,
orchid in there.
You got to drink it like this. Maybe that's the problem. Like, I can't hold it like this. Well, just hold it down
Just
here.
hold it here.
Nah, you got to hold it down here. That way, if they're looking at what you're drinking, it's like, hey, my eyes are up here, man. Just do that flip. Hey, man, my eyes are up here,
Well,
bro.
here's the thing. I'm sorry. Now, I don't want to keep on harping on it, but the cognac goblet, you can hold it like one of those because those look manly, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a cognac goblet.
Yeah.
Hold your little coupe the same way. It's going to look a little weird, but
Hey, I just say hold it right down
yeah.
here.
And
Anything you hold next to your nuts is the hardest thing you could do. You can't look non-hard while holding something next to your nuts.
it's
You
like,
can have a
yo,
Nerf gun next to your nuts, and it's like, oh, that's the hardest nigga in the
hard,
fucking
man. I
park
might even
right
try
there.
to mess with him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a strap
He,
or like
he
a
shoot
BB
you in the
gun
eye sideways. That's a kill shot.
with a tennis ball.
I have a Nerf gun, man. Yeah, I don't use it because my brother refuses to buy one.
Why?
I think he's worried. because I shoot him enough as it is.
I'd be worried
so
too.
I think he's worried.
If you actually had more reason,
if you have a strap,
yeah,
you better keep it on you at all times.
So that's why he's not going to buy one.
I'll get him one eventually.
And then you like put it like under his pillow and be like, you had one the whole time. Bah, 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 bah.
Putting your shit nowhere. Better get it. You better get it ready. Better keep your head on the swivel, playboy.
He's gonna light him up just because.
Man, if I ever get married, she better be a good shot. I'm telling you that right now. I am shooting her between the butt cheeks.
This is going out to all the ladies that are.
Start practicing with your Nerf guns.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, I am dangerous. I'm dangerous to live with, man.
Okay,
I'm a big kid. I like toys and shit like that.
But we're going
man.
from getting the show canceled to just canceling you from all future endeavors.
This has been my goal the entire time, is to be canceled. I've been working on it. I'm gonna get there eventually.
All women that are interested in Nando,
learn to shoot a Nerf gun.
Learn to shoot your Nerf gun because he's coming for you. Wow.
And in you. Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was I know, since we were just harping on the guys, there's this one thing that I it's not that it's something I want to go against or go back on. I just kind of want to add what I feel is a little bit more context when it comes to dealing with certain people. Especially when it comes to dealing with, hyper aggressive, sometimes considered douchey people or whatever, people who are just like pain in the ass or whatever, because a lot of times those people get away with so much more because no one ever wants to check them.
Right.
But one of the other things that is a byproduct of someone having that kind of mentality is that they're usually someone who gets shit done. They're the ones who's going to be pushing things to progress things. They're the ones trying to make the most money. They're the ones that are trying to make the most changes, but it's usually built around them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is why I always kind of feel like you need a douche, but you got to keep your douche in check.
That's okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of places, not every place,
right,
but a lot of places, like, you need someone who has that type of aggression because they're the ones who are going to help progress your business.
Yeah.
That's why they get ahead so fast.
Right.
Is because they have that mentality of like, I got to tackle the next challenge. I got to do the next thing.
Right.
But a lot of times people don't keep them in check. When you start hearing someone getting too big for the britches kind of deal, saying some disrespectful shit.
Right.
Y'all need to start checking them. Like seriously, you need to start checking your douches.
Oh yeah.
Like don't let them just run all over you and just run a place, because then they start thinking that it's okay. Yeah. You're reinforcing that negative behavior. Yeah. But if you can channel that and teach them how to be a better person, I'm saying male and female. That's why I haven't genderized it. I'm saying like douches come in all shapes and sizes.
100%.
But seriously, when you start to see those behaviors from someone, check them. My coworkers check me all the time, and it keeps me in fucking line. It really does. Like if I say something that is a little over the top or people aren't like comfortable with it, I get checked immediately. Right. So then I'm being taught on the spot, as opposed to keep letting someone go off the rails and then you try to reel them in later, but they're so far gone. Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there of like, when you have someone, you have respect for them, they're a coworker, you don't want to rock the boat. But just always remember, you are part of keeping that person in line just as much as they are a part of helping to further the business. Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, the quote unquote douche in the situation doesn't mean harm or doesn't mean to offend. It's just kind of like whatever their mindset is on that mindset. And it's like, cool, this is how I get from point A to point B. And this is how I'm going to achieve it. And this is how a lot of times in those situations, that's how they've achieved success or whatever they wanted up until that point in life. Right. And so you being that little guardrail to be like, yo, yes, we can get there this way, but you can also reel that in, and you could do it without overstepping your boundaries or like offending this group of people. Or if you're talking about in a business, let's say like in a bar situation, like we need to be mindful that like while that may not offend this group of people, it could offend this group of people, and we can achieve.
And that's not always to say that you're supposed to be worried about offending people all the time. Because yeah, there has been an overcorrection on trying to not offend people.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah.
At the same time, you don't want to be overly offensive for no reason.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of times people who have that mindset can go off the rails, is because they're like, well, no one's willing to do the things I'm willing to do. That's why you need me. Yeah. That is true, but it doesn't give you carte blanche to just go around doing and saying whatever you want. It's seriously, come on, man. We all got to work this job. We have to answer for you sometimes.
Right.
Give us less things to answer for.
Right.
Continue to be you, but also be cognizant of the people around you.
Yeah.
And don't try to be overly offensive just because you're like, well, I don't give a fuck. Okay, you don't give a fuck.
Right.
But don't give a fuck when you're at home.
Yeah.
When you're at work, I do believe in not giving fucks. Like that is very well known.
Yeah.
But within the context of where you work.
Yeah. And it's about creating those guardrails that, like you said before, harnesses that douchiness to like actual something constructive that it helps everybody around us to get toward that common goal or what have you that you're talking about.
And sometimes you have to harness your inner douche. You might not be a douche, but sometimes you have to be. Yeah. You're dealing with a guest that's being too touchy or being disrespectful to you or a coworker, or you're dealing with a coworker or dealing with anything.
Right.
Sometimes you have to channel that, just like that fuck it in your system of just like, nah, man, I'm not going to keep letting you wear me down because you're taking away from my energy to give to myself, to give to my peers, to give to my loved ones, and to give to the guests who are the ones helping me pay my bills, which is the whole reason that I'm here.
Right.
You know, and because I like this job.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's flickering. You better behave.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's staring at us like that. Very judgmental. I didn't order it.
Someone did. Someone did.
I would never order that.
Did anybody out there order it? I wonder. You know someone did? Yeah.
I know a couple people who have.
Oh, man.
From me, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I know
funny.
I have a couple friends who have ordered it from me.
That's funny.
Because they're lesbian. And when it came out, it was like, hey, I'm a lesbian. I was told this is what I'm supposed to drink, or they're going to take my L card.
I didn't even know that. I never associated with that when it came out.
It was a thing.
Okay.
It was the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Well, no. I knew where the quote came from and what the drink came from, but I never was it associated to lesbian culture.
Then you need to talk to more lesbians.
Fair enough.
Lesbians are fucking dope. Just like gay people, trans people are all dope.
Yeah.
I fucking love talking to people who live a different lifestyle from me because I learn so much.
Yeah.
So much. You know, there's so much out there that I'm just not going to get exposed to without
100%.
Talking to the people who are living it and going through it.
Yeah.
And, you know, like that can make me a more well-informed person. And when I'm talking to someone who's sounding ignorant, and be like, actually, that's not what they're talking about, or that's not what they're dealing with, because I don't just have that one friend in that group. I have several friends in that group. So I have several personalities in that group, several different stories in that group.
I have different perspectives, and I know where Negroni Spagliato actually came from.
Yeah, so talk to more lesbians, my friend. You need more lesbian friends.
I will add them to the bunch
take care
that
of you.
I have.
They will definitely take care of you. Take care of them. You're good people. Lesbians would love you.
I'm not saying...
Stop staying away from lesbians, okay?
I feel like you're inventing a narrative right now, and I'm not trying to defend it, because then it seems like I have something to defend, but
like incepting that into everyone's mind. He's like, I never said anything.
But then if I defend it, then it's like, well, why are you being so defensive now? It's like, I'm not.
You're like, but I love lesbians. But what do you mean? Come on, man.
Yo, podcasts are great for inventing narratives about like the co-host, and it's a great space for that.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it, man. This has been a fucking blast. I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. As a matter of fact, shout out to Jalapeno Jesus. I just want to give him a shout out. He doesn't always listen to the show, but just in case he does.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but shout out to Jalapeno Jesus, man.
Jesus, what's up?
Yeah. He's one of our friends. I'll tell you who he is.
Bet.
I'll tell you who he is.
Okay.
But yeah, Jalapeno Jesus is the dude. Which is actually a really good segue.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since anyone said it.
Yeah.
Into something that I know we've talked about off camera.
Yeah.
That we both feel very strongly about. And, you know, it kind of came up a little bit last week, but we both felt the need that we wanted to address this in a different light this week, which is just making sure that you are taking care of not just yourself, but take care of the people around you, especially when you're out, public settings, especially when you're out drinking. Even if it's not someone you know, but especially, I say especially if it's someone you know, because you know that person better, so you know the signs of maybe they've had too much. I had this happen last night. These guys came in, like 7 or 8 of them. And they were all boxers. I know that because that's all they would fucking talk about. But one of them obviously wasn't a boxer. At the very least, he was a trainer, because that motherfucker was fat as fuck. So he probably knows how to box, and you do not want to piss this motherfucker off, because he will work you. But he's not the one doing all the cardio no more. You know what I mean? Don't fuck with Poppy.
He's not in the ring.
Don't fuck with Poppy. But like, he had obviously not had too much to drink, but the combination of how much he had to drink and whatever subject matter they were discussing, motherfucker started crying at the bar. And there is one rule I will always follow.
I love a cry.
There's no sleeping and there's no crying at the bar.
I love a good cry.
No. If you want to cry, I support a good cry. Not at the bar. Just don't do it at the bar.
It brings a whole...
It doesn't... Tears and alcohol don't mix well.
It's just a little salty.
Yeah, it doesn't mix well. Get some pretzels if you need salt. No, you don't need to be crying at the bar, because it changes the mood around people around you.
Because now everybody's worried, like, yo, what's his deal? Like, what's going on with him? Are they okay?
Man, come on.
Somebody want to check on them?
Yeah. And they never took him outside to be like, yo, get your shit together. You crying in front of other people. You crying in front of strangers. I'm talking bawling.
Like wailing?
It was audible. It was fucking audible.
It was great.
No, take him outside. Give this man some dignity. Take him outside for a minute. Let him gather himself. And that's part of the shit that makes a lot of men feel so uncomfortable, especially when they're out in public, is people making fun of them, which we always make fun of each other. But for some reason, when it comes to making fun of men crying, it's like so negative. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna laugh at you for crying. I laugh at myself for crying. You look like a little bitch right now. That's how I stop myself from crying. Like, I'm trying to help you get out of it. Hey, man, stop being a little bitch and come on. Like, he like that kind of shit.
I'm not even on that tip. I'm just like, hey, look at that guy being vulnerable and expressing himself.
Oh, you're a better person than me.
He probably hasn't expressed himself in like the last 15 years. He's a boxing trainer.
He cried twice. You should have waited for the rest of the story on that one.
He does this often. This is a trained
That
act.
was not a first, like, they stopped him from crying pretty quick.
Okay.
First time. The second time, it went on for a bit longer. And I was just like, bruh, can y'all, like, whatever he's going through, can y'all, like, help him get through it instead of buying him another beer? Like, trying to drown out the tears? Like,
I love that that's the response.
Yeah, drink another beer. Oh, that'll help. I had to cut him off. I was like, hey, he can't have no more.
Right. Clearly, it's affecting him in a way that we don't want or like. Let's cut back on that.
But what got me is when I cut him off, they were like, yeah, you right.
Motherfucker, I know I'm right. Y'all should have been ahead of this 3 rounds ago. What the fuck?
Y'all ordered the beer for him.
Yeah.
Y'all were like, yeah, can we get him another beer? And I'm like, nah, man, I can't get him no beer. And they're like, yeah, you right.
Who's friend right now?
Okay. How am I looking out for him more than you?
Yes. And
don't make that our responsibility.
And I don't know if I've told this story before, but I've seen, literally, I'm on Mainwell production, so I'm not even talking to the people, but I'm aware that I've made at least 5 rounds of like Clase Azul shots for like this group over here. I'm like, I don't think they've eaten much yet. So I know they're getting pretty lit. Actually, you know what? They were 5 rounds of double Clase Azul. And we had a bartender on, and she was like, yo, I'm just about my money today. And like, if they want to buy doubles of Clase Azul. I'm just gonna sell that shit.
Wait, did they know how much it costs?
They did, yeah. They were part of a wedding party, and like they just were like,
as long as it's known.
Yeah.
As long as it's known, man.
But she's just really good at upselling, and she just like,
then that's fucking dope, dude. I don't like it when people do that
and they don't know,
not paying attention to what they're ringing in, then. And I apologize for cutting you off on that. It's just I've seen someone do that as a server, upselling someone without their knowledge.
Yes.
And then the person gets that and they're like, well, you suggested it. It's like, yeah, and you said yes. Okay, but I didn't know it was $50-something. Yes. It's like, okay, but you also have to walk that fine line of you don't want to insult someone by saying,
can you afford this?
Are you sure you want this?
Yeah.
It's like, we can't do that either.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure this person was.
Oh, no. I've been in that situation before as well. Where it was like there was a server and she was like on her first week and like she was ringing in Clase Azul repo margaritas.
Ooh.
and I
don't understand why you would ever take any shot that is over $20.
Yep.
You should not be mixing.
Yes.
With pretty much anything unless it's a booze for a cocktail.
Yeah.
You should not be adding any citrus and almost no sweetener to anything that's over a $20 shot because you're paying more for the flavor. So if you're then adding all these other things
you're
to
not getting it.
You're not getting anything different that you wouldn't have gotten from another one.
Yeah.
The ABV is the same.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that if it costs more, it'll get you more fucked up. The ABV is the same.
Yeah, it's
no
literally
matter what. There are very strict guidelines to these things.
Yeah.
So when people are like, "Well, what's the strongest drink you have?"
Shots.
Just get a shot or a martini. I was like, if you want something strong, because you were talking about this earlier. If you want something stronger, order a martini. Usually, it's all alcohol.
Right. Yeah.
Which is more alcohol. Usually than your Adioses and your Long Islands and all this other shit that you think gets you fucked up, but really it's the combination of alcohol and sugar.
Yeah.
You're basically a toddler with a pixie stick. Like that's you. That's why we disrespect you when you come out and you order that kind of shit. Cause you're like, oh, look at it. We want to touch your little cheeks.
You just came out to the bar.
Yeah. Oh. Enjoy that juice box when you go back to the kids' table with your other 18 friends to buy one bottle.
Oh man.
Anyway, I'm sorry. You were saying.
No, but like
you were saying.
Quick detour along with that. Like there was definitely a server, like she was on her first week. She was ordering Clase Azul margaritas, which we see that from time to time. But I also realized that she was ordering them at multiple tables and it was her first week. And I also know on our POS, the Casamigos repo button is very close to the Clase Azul repo button. Okay.
I'm going to make this 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
Because this is something that's bothered me for a long time.
Yes.
Why the fuck haven't people made these POSs a lot more user-friendly for the people who are having to use them all the time?
Yeah.
Why would you put this next to this or this next to this? With the smallest buttons.
They're very small
buttons because you're trying to fit the most amount of shit.
Yeah.
How about you just fit the shit that we use the most right here? Yeah. I can use that. If I'm using a lot of Casamigos, just give me a Casamigos button in an area where there's no Clase Azul so I won't hit the wrong button. You know, don't put tender even next to the cash button or something like that because tender even, you can't fix that.
But here's the thing. I would not put that on them this time because we actually have.
I don't mean just you. I'm saying in general.
But like they have a classic margarita button, and then from there you could choose the ones that we regularly use. So like it would be Casamigos Repo, Casamigos Blanco, but like the people that are new don't know how all those things function.
So they go to
just
need to do a better job of
teaching that.
Yeah.
But by the time she got to like the second table and I had like pulled her aside, I was like, hey, you're doing Clase Azul, like repo, like margaritas. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you want to check with your table? And like, I'm not trying to insult her and her serving skills, but at this point I'm just like, don't make me pour and waste this Clase Azul in it. And then I actually saw a manager at this point. I'm like, hey, just to let you know, so-and-so is doing this. I've asked her, But like, I just want to give you a heads up that you may have like an issue at the
you
end
gonna
of
have some comps and voids.
Yeah, you have the comps and voids coming up. And then so I talked with the manager later.
Emails.
She said she talked to the server about it, and she was just like, "Oh, I mean, it's just a $30 difference." I was like,
yeah, tell your guests that.
Yeah, your guests may not feel that same way, sweetheart. So
tell your guests that when they only brought $40.
Right.
Which I know we give a lot of shit to people who don't come out with enough money.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
if you're
a server, don't be overcharging people without talking to them first, man. You know, like, please don't.
Yeah, it's just a headache for
all of our lives harder.
It's a headache for the managers, for us at the bar. But anyway, so all of to say, Clase Azul, double shots at the bar. They're 5 rounds deep. And then I just literally look over and I see homie struggling. And this is a dude, he was in the first group that came in for the wedding party. And he was very lively when he came in. So to see him sitting there now, just
thinking about life.
There's that 1,000-yard stare where like, I know, cause I've been there so many times when like, you feel too much saliva coming up here. And you're just trying to because you just know you're about to throw up. You don't get that?
Oh no, you're painting a picture.
Yeah, and like you just feel it coming up here, and you're just like trying to look at some place just to focus, just keep it down. And literally, his friends are next to him having the time of their life because
they look like that one video. Oh boy, it was like you funny with your friends. He's like trying to hold it together.
Because the thing was, he was in the first group that came in, so he was like a round or two in front of most of the rest of the group. And so I was just like, hey, I'm like literally like making a bunch of drinks, like, hey, get your friend to the bathroom right the fuck now. And they were like, what? Huh? Because like now they're 3 rounds in. And so they're just having the time of their life. Why would I worry about this fool? And like, I say it twice. I keep on going. I was like, he's about to blow, like get him to the bathroom. And literally, I'm talking about on the whole marble top, just projectile. And then we're all just sitting there looking stupid, and I'm looking at them and they're looking at me, and then we're both looking down at him. And at that point, I'm like, it's not his fault because I told you what was about to happen. I know that look. I've seen it. I've experienced it. Y'all want to get him to the bathroom, and now we got to clean it up because y'all aren't going to clean it up.
Yeah,
because we want you guys to continue having your great time. And so, yeah, just like in these situations, like just know your friends, know everybody you're with, and make sure that they're having a good time, and don't bring it back on us. Cause there's so many times when us as bartenders are left with the having to call an Uber or taxi to try to figure out how to get someone else home. At that point, they're so drunk, they can't even talk or give us their address or what have you. We're just like, wait. Like,
I got plenty of stories on that. I know P does too, just like you. Like everybody in this industry has to deal with that so many fucking times. Trying to help someone get home safe because you literally do care. Even if it's someone, I mean, I don't know if I've had this happen to me, but you know, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But like, you imagine having to help someone get into an Uber after they caused a scene in your bar, like after they did something disrespectful or broke something or cursed you out, but then they fall and crack their head, and then you're like, well, I gotta make sure they're okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those are things that do happen. Like you can have someone try to fight you 1 minute and then they're fighting for their life the next, and you're like, I have to help you.
Right.
You know, there's so many things that happen in this industry, like in this particular line of work that we have to see every single day.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks about that.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks about it because they don't see it. They just think we just sit behind a bar and pour a couple things and then ask you for money. And it's like, man, if you knew, we're babysitters, we're relationship therapists, life therapists, fucking life coaches. You know what I mean? Like fucking security, babysitters. We have to do all of these things every shift. And sometimes depending on like you or your relationship with that guest, depending on what it is, you may even be someone that's like an objective fantasy for them.
Right.
Like even if they don't feel like they have an opportunity to have anything with you, they may come around to see you on a regular basis just to be around your presence. Like, oh no, I can't even have this person, which women have to deal with so much more than we do. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad for all the women in our industry because they are dealing with so much shit that it's not that I can say like, oh, I will never understand because I've had flashes, but mine are flashes. Seconds, maybe a minute or two.
It's literally the time they clock
every single shift, all shift. Like there's so much that they have to deal with.
And there's I don't know. I see the women, my coworkers, like dealing with it, but like you have to play into it a little bit because that's part of like the job or part of like the fantasy and like whatever. But it's also like creating that boundary while also playing into it and making sure that at the same time, while I am rejecting you, that I'm still giving you a good experience, that you still want to come back, but not think that this is more how they do it seamlessly, shift
it's
after
mental
shift.
Chess, man. It's cool.
I'm just like mental gymnastics.
Yeah,
like
it is. Yeah. And like I said, shout out to y'all for doing it, man.
100%.
Shout out to y'all for doing it. I still want to start like working on the expansion show idea, you know, the thing I was telling you about before. You know, we're not a relationship podcast, but we do need to have one of those episodes where we get more voices that are not just on the show. We get multiple voices together and we sit down and we talk about what it's like dating in this industry, because it's it's one of those subjects we don't talk about a lot because so many podcasts talk about dating, and I'm like, dude, we live this shit. We don't need to hear about dating in the industry all the time. But I think like
address it.
Not one episode dedicated to it, but like we should get like a good group, get a couple drinks together, get some microphones together, sit down and have like a real like detailed discussion on what everyone's doing.
I'm with that.
I'd love to try to figure that out soon. But with everything, like,
definitely reach out if you would like to be a part of the episode.
Man, please. Like, serious. Thank you for mentioning that.
Please reach out,
because I know we were talking about it before about you know liking, subscribing, sharing, and things like that. You know, because we want to build the show. But we're also looking for more ways to make you all a part of it, because you are 100%. All a part of it. If not for you, we wouldn't even gotten to this part, you know. And with what we have planned, like what we're gonna do with this going forward, it's ambitious, but I feel like it's gonna be very beneficial for everyone involved and everyone who's just taking it in. But we can't do that without all of you being a part of it. So please start, you know, answering us on the stories or, you know, shooting a message in a DM. Just hit us up. You know, like you all know, we're all very fucking talkative, very personal with people. We talk to everybody except for the assholes. You know, we'll just let you know we don't like you. You need to go. Like the uber douches, the really shitty fucking people. Like, nah, we don't have time for all of that. But as far as our real positive energy people who just want to have a good time and talk some shit, even if you just want to talk shit about me, like that shit's funny, dude. Like, people clown on me. I fucking love that shit. I don't get I get self-conscious, but not in a bad way. I get self-conscious like, oh shit, someone's laughing at that.
Like, well, I think also just like that goes hand in hand with like what you guys have been building is like just a community. And this isn't just like our community, but we want you guys to know that the community is you guys. It's not just us. Like literally, basically what you just said, like the community doesn't exist without you guys, but we would like to hear more from you guys, just whatever type of feedback and just more interactions. I hear from people when I see them in person stuff.
Which is why the live episodes have been such a big thing for us, because we see people, especially with our jobs. We see people in person and they're just like, dude, I just watched this episode. I really liked it, and y'all talked about this and that, and
like I related to it on this. And this, like, oh, I wanted to add to that and say this, and like, yo, add to that and say this on like whatever the story on the comment section, like whatever.
I feel like because of the way that I decided to create this show, it's kind of created this weird effect where, you know, most shows and most things that are created is like people are reaching out, you know, just kind of shouting out into the void and just being like, hey, this is my show or this is my content. And they're like blasting it everywhere, especially on social media and ads and stuff like that. And we don't do a lot of that. Like our social media, we post things when we feel, hey man, we want to share this. We see things, we repost different people. Like Sober Bartender is one of my favorite pages to fucking follow because he's fucking hilarious. He lives out here in Cali, but it's like southeast of here. I want to do a trip and go check him out sometime soon, collab with him or whatever. But like I like that organic having a conversation with people the same way we would at a bar. The same way we became friends was by sitting down talking.
Yeah.
But because we've gone for this more organic in-person approach,
right,
I think it's kind of made it where people feel like they feel a little bit weird about hitting us up, especially if they don't know us and like,
no,
hit us up.
That's literally how bar friends start.
Yeah. And me, I am shitty at social media and texting, and I never call anyone. But like, if you hit me up, I respond. I'm a responder.
True.
I'm one of those people who feels like, man, I'm a lot. And so I don't want to force myself on you. I don't want you to deal with me if you didn't sign up for it. So I'm gonna let you come to me, baby. Yeah. You come talk to me when you're ready, because I already know.
Are you saying that you insist upon yourself?
I mean, it insists. It's insisting. I don't know what that's from, but I remember
Family
that.
Guy.
Yeah.
He just insists upon himself.
Yeah. But yeah. So for those of you in the LA area, like we said, on the 25th on Thursday, 7 p.m. at the Alamo Draft House downtown LA, we will be doing another live episode. We don't know if Paulo is going to be there because someone always forgets to request the days off from work from his own show, but we'll see.
It'll be a surprise for everyone.
Yeah, hopefully he's there. Yeah, but we have already heard from a good group of people. I don't mean like one good group. I'm saying like I've heard from a lot of people. I know you have too, and I know P has as well.
Yeah.
Even though still didn't request a day off. It sounds like it's going to be a really good turnout for this one. It's free. You get to be at the Alamo fucking Draft Houses, which is one of the dopest fucking places.
Food,
I fucking love it. Good food and good drinks and good people.
Yeah.
I really like Alamo. Not just because we work with them. We work with them because we like Alamo a lot. They're really dope fucking people.
If you haven't been to a movie there,
it changes movies for you, man. You get to see old movies too.
Yeah.
Like seeing Dazed and Confused while I was dazed and confused in a theater. Bro, man, like that's some different shit right there. I felt like I was back in the 70s.
That sounds like a timeless experience.
It was dope. And seeing Scarface, it was like, Maddie, no. Manolo, why'd I do that? Like, why did you do that? Tony, why'd you do that, Tony?
Oh, you was in the movie.
Oh, man, I love Scarface. I'm always pissed off at Tony for killing Manolo. Like, that was your boy, man. Just punch him in the gut. Don't shoot him. Just hit that motherfucker. Like,
meanwhile, I was at the Alamo tearing up watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we all did.
Okay, we all did. Okay, we all did. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, one of my homies went in.
Okay.
Shout out to Adric. They went in and watched it while having like bad sinuses.
Oh no.
Oh man. They posted a picture. I was like, who hit you in your nose? That shit was bad.
James Gunn hit me in the heart.
Wow. And it stopped my breathing apparently.
Oh man. No,
but that was a great one.
I just wasn't expecting to be that emotionally triggered in that film, but watching it at the Alamo just sucked me in. I went solo dolo to watch that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, was me in the movie and homie that was 3 seats over sniffing for like the entire half of the movie. And I was just like, dang, like he's getting it too. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You were okay being vulnerable. Yeah. Like, me and P actually watched it. Like we went to the movies and watched it together, and both of us were both leaning away from each other with our heads tilted back. Like, nah, like gravity was gonna hold the tears in. If they don't touch my cheeks, I never shed them. I never shed tears, you know. Like, hey, if I just kept them in, I was like, nah, man. that was a good movie, man. Oh, yeah. I know another one I saw was Evil Dead Rise.
Oh,
that was fucking dope.
That's crazy.
I saw Sisu. Didn't care for Sisu that much.
It's an acquired taste.
It wasn't what I wanted it to be.
It lagged in the story a little bit. It
didn't just lag in the story. Motherfucker just got his ass beat the whole time. They pumped it up like he was some great fighter, and it was like, nah, he just refuses to die.
Yeah,
and like, yo, you need to learn how to quit.
No, but at a certain point, I was just like, is he just a god?
He's just a guy.
No, he's just a god because he just was surviving shit that did not
just
make
a guy.
Dude, there were some things he survived. Like Vin Diesel wouldn't have survived some of the things he survived.
Well, this guy lost his family.
There we go. There we go.
All right. Well, on that note, we will see you on Thursday. For those of you not there on Thursday, well, man, fuck you too then. We'll see you when we see you. Peace. Take care of your people.